All right, so John McMillan here with Jeff Wheatley with the Wheatley Group in the DC metro area. And Jeff completed our recruiting course probably about like 3-4 months ago at this point. So, Jeff, I just kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about your experience in that. So first off, why did you sign up to go through and spend 6 months with us?
So, John, thanks for having me. The reason I signed up is I wanted to put together a plan to systematically recruit. My recruiting to that point in time had been kind of haphazard. I would chase people. Really wanted to put together a plan where people were actually coming to me systematically, and it wasn't a huge part of my day having to recruit people.
Okay. So so now that the course is done, what does that plan kind of look like for you? What were you able to
So,
get in place?
so what's actually happened is, so that was part of it, but what's actually happened is I have people that are coming to me. What I didn't realize is I'm really going from a chasing people and then having to sell them to I'm really going to much more of a selection process. So there's a much bigger pipeline, and that allows me to say only want talent. And the last person that I took onto my team has been solid talent. We took him from zero production to 4 transactions in less than 60 days.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what does that process look like? Now that the people are attracted to you, how are you actually able to do that?
So the first thing we do is if the phone rings or if I get an email or if I meet them in the office, I actually have them schedule on my calendar. I have a very small window that they can do a Calendarly invite. We do a 20-minute phone screening call. So we're really sifting and sorting right then. And then from there, if they make it past that screening, we actually have them go through a second step, which is to go through a personality profile, and we'll make sure that their behaviors are right for it, for the position. And from there, we'll have them come in the office and we'll kind of go through those behaviors. At that point in time, if they've spent that much time, we know that they're interested in it and they're committed. It's just a matter of making sure that that is a good fit, that I want to invest my time in that person.
Right.
And
So, oh, go ahead.
right. And I was going to say, and what's happened is I expected that to happen to work on the sales side, but it's really happened across the board. So we've been able to use that for both sales and for marketing and admin side. So I brought on interns with this process. For the marketing side, I brought in an admin and a new rock star buyer's agent.
Okay. So are these people also engaging with the content that you're putting out online and starting to get to know you a little bit before they reach out to you about
Yeah.
the open position?
Yeah, so I'm making sure that they've seen a little bit of my videos that I've cut through viral. And the way I position that is they've either already seen them, or if they haven't, I ask them to take a look at it just to make sure that they understand how I think. It's very important for me to have somebody who kind of understands how I think about the business, how I approach things, even before we have that 20-minute session that I was talking about, John.
Got it. So you're taking that relationship a little bit that's online
Right.
through your video
Yeah, maybe
presence.
deepening it, maybe
Correct.
understanding how I think, but making sure that they're fit before we even take that 20 minutes.
Perfect. Okay. So another thing that, you had mentioned to me before we started recording this was you've had a big shift in your mindset. Can you tell us a
So,
little bit about that?
yeah, so my mindset was much more on the kind of chasing the recruits and giving me leverage, to now we filled up a pipeline to it's not chase, I'm going to select the absolute right one that I want to lean into so that I can lean into very deeply. And sometimes it's worked, sometimes it hasn't. We had one that kind of checked all the boxes, but we had to coach them out relatively quickly. And having gone through the process and knowing that there's more people waiting in line, it's much easier mindset wise to go through that. Let's make sure that we select them out quick and get them in the right position with the right team or the right career.
Right. So, Frank, one of the first things that he says, and I don't know, you're going to have to go back like 9 months, but one of the first things in the recruiting course Frank talks about is, look, this is a recruiting course, but it's really a leadership course in disguise. Can you kind of talk about, you know, that comment and how you probably were like, all right, buddy, we'll see. And then 6 months later, kind of how that came to fruition.
Right. And I've been in one-on-one coaching and group coaching in the past, and it just showed up a little different in this course. The having to work through things on a weekly basis and making sure that there's that accountability, it starts to show up in just taking your game up a little bit. And then as we have more and more talent coming through because of the system, it's made me increase my business, made me increase my leadership skills, because the higher talent you hire, the more they're keeping you on your game. So yes, in a nutshell, because of the talent that I'm able to attract now, I've had to up my game.
And do you feel like you were pushed out of your comfort zone at all, like during the 6 months that you took the course?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just in terms
of time frame, in terms of pushing a little bit harder, and then there would be times where I was a little bit behind on my assignments. Like one of the assignments was to go ahead and put together a presentation. We put it together in a nice conference room down in Bethesda, and I was a little bit behind on my time. And instead of pushing back, I just said, we're going to push through, make sure that we have it, and have a successful event.
Good. So you feel like, and just so people from the outside know, there's 1 hour that people spend in class in a group, and then there's a one-on-one call with either me or my assistant Morgan, with these guys on a weekly basis to get the homework done. So you feel like those one-on-one weekly calls really helped push you through and actually get things done on a week-to-week basis.
Absolutely. And again, coming back to, I've been somebody who's been in coaching before, and the way that this is set up, it's different, but it is very, very effective. So you learn a lesson, but within a week, you've got somebody different to hold you accountable. And that ping pong, the yin and the yang, really work very well together. It's in some senses taking coaching to a next level.
Cool. That's awesome.
Training. And I don't know that I'd necessarily call it coaching. Maybe it's a little bit training, a little bit a course, workshop. It's kind of all that wrapped up in one. It's hard to describe it with one particular word.
Project-based group implementation. How's that?
Yes, that would hit it.
That's what it says on the website. On the website. All right.
And there's a couple times when I was behind and you didn't mind cracking the whips on me, and I certainly appreciate that, John.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's great. Well, thank you for your time today, Jeff. This was awesome.
Absolutely. John, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.